Listen to the music, Ian. Just listen to the passion, the heavy metal. My 6-year-old son loves that song. We have no idea what it is. It was free, so we put it up here. What's up, everybody? NFL Action Plan. Keg will be here in a few minutes. We're going to break down Thursday Night Football. We'll break down the Sunday slate of games. I know he's got a couple ladders that we're in, and Ian Harditz is with me with Fantasy Life. It's good to catch up with. Hey, look at that. A little two-finger salute from my man. Talk to me. What's going on? How's working with Matthew Berry and the rest of the crew over there, friend?
Yeah, bro, good talking with you. Been a couple years, but always appreciate,
Maybe a year and a half. I had you on a decent for the preseason, so I was trying to do the math. Probably about a year and a half.
Not too shabby. No, man, life is good. Good seeing, Mr. Barry every now and again. He's, of course, a busy man, but we're holding it down for him in the meantime. Myself, Dwayne McFarland, the rest of our Fantasy Life crew. So week 10, double digits now, man. But, just grinding through each and every week like always.
It stinks. Like it's just boom every single year. We're in week 7. We're week 7. We're in week 10. We're in week 10. Like Thanksgiving's a couple of weeks away, friend. Yeah. So let's start with this. We want to talk some player props. I know you do a lot of fantasy stuff, but player props right there in the wheelhouse. Yeah. And tonight you got a couple things going on. First of all, Derrick Henry's line has come down a little bit from in the low 90s. You can get it right around 90 now. Lamar Jackson. He has, what is he, second in the league in passing? Zay Flowers has been cleaning up on the other side. Jamar Chase with a monster game in the first meeting with these two games. Chase Brown seems to be coming along. You got anything in this game as far as players go?
I guess we just got to take all the overs, right? What could go wrong there with that sort of mindset? So I will say, man, you go back to this first meeting, 79 total points scored. That's the highest combined point total in a single game this season. So really is, just two defenses where we have not seen catch up to this point. I mean, I don't know about you. I just figured that kind of the first couple of weeks of the year, particularly for the Ravens, more of a learning experience than anything, and we would see them catch their stride. But injuries haven't helped, man. They've just been a leak all season long. Even last week, some of the missed touchdowns we saw out there. So, I would be more inclined to, I guess, just, hope for some points out here. But in terms of actual props for tonight, I got a couple more for Sunday. I think it'd be a little more interesting.
Oh, let's talk about Sunday, man. I'm excited about Sunday.
Yeah, man. So how about a little Drake May rushing prop, right?
Oh, yeah?
You can't get behind a quarterback rushing over. I mean, what are we even doing with our time?
Okay.
So with Drake May, new coming out of North Carolina, I think he runs a little bit more than these other guys. But right now over at FanDuel, sitting at just 27.5. Dude, he's averaged 41 rushing yards per game this season. And that's actually not even that's including the game against the Jets when he came in for the last 2 drives at the end of the game. So he's actually up there around 49. Only Lamar Jackson and Jaden Daniels have more rushing yards per game at the position than this dude right now. So yes, that Bears defense is good, but you know what? When we're talking about quarterback rushing yards, I almost want the defense to be good, so it forces this dude to run for his life. And so far, he's been pretty good at doing just that.
Yeah, and I found a 26.5 at Bet Rivers, so it's minus 12. So I mean, again, even better number. Drake May, number 1. Give me another one this weekend. Is it Drew Lock? Is Drew Lock going to magically appear and just do what he needs to do?
Not quite, man. No, you could imagine. No, I like what you were saying before we got on here though, about Tyrone Tracy last night.
Yeah, the boys are on him.
I'm going to go to a tight end here. TJ Hawkinson wasn't exactly featured last week, but honestly, I probably would have taken the under on that. I believe 67% route rate he ended up having. That's pretty close to normal. Now we have an absolute cake matchup here against the Jaguars defense that is actually fairly stout at the line of scrimmage. Josh Allen, Hines, Walker and everything like that. But they've just been a faucet in the secondary all year long. So looking at Hawkinson's lines, I feel like we're not going to have a chance to get this low again after he probably goes off against his terrible secondary. So 4+ receptions right now is minus 106 over at FanDuel. And even just 40+ receiving yards, man, plus 132. So really the only problem with Sam Darnold in this passing game is they haven't really been pushed to throw the ball all that much. I understand that could be a problem here, but again, given the matchup, don't think we could need more than a few targets anyway. So yeah, would have preferred if Trevor Lawrence was healthy. Again, not exactly expecting a shootout here, but hey, with Hawk 5-6 targets, man, I think he clears both these.
So yeah, you would think he'd be more involved in that offense, but Justin Jefferson's waking up, right? So they're starting to figure, hey, let's funnel it to Justin Jefferson. Then you got Addison. Then you got Jones. There's a lot of guys catching passes there, but you're pretty steadfast that Hawkinson's role is just going to continue to grow, and it should be as big as it was last year.
I mean, you look at what he did last year. Only Kelsey had more PPR points per game. And again, even if you're not a fantasy guy, all we're doing is combining the receptions, yards, and touchdowns here. So I always maintain, man, if we just called them impact points instead of fantasy points, we get, called nerds a lot less.
Yes, impact points. I like it.
Out here in these streets. So no, it's just a matter of respect to Hawkinson. They took their time with him. I mean, he was eligible to come off IR, like a month ago. So do you think he's fully healthy at this point? He's in my opinion, one of the top 5 tight ends when he's right. And again, like I could see it as early as next week, these numbers being a good, reception and 10 yards higher to get those sort of odds. So everything is looking good for this spot as long as he is healthy. And that's the bet I'm making.
I'm a little disappointed we're not going to see Cedric Tillman. But I know you threw it up there on your X account there. Yeah. I was on him last week. This dude he's like baby Mike Evans is what he is. He's gigantic. He's fast. He's got Jameis Winston chucking the ball all over the place. And I know they're on a bye week, the Browns are, but how impressive has Cedric Tillman been for the people that really haven't caught up to him yet?
I've seen that Nico Collins comp thrown around as well.
Yeah?
So sort of the same mindset. But man, he's been great. I do worry just, again, how much longer he's going to have Jameis chucking that rock to him, though. Because don't get me wrong, everything's going great now with Tillman. But Jameis is already somehow second in the NFL in terms of dropped interceptions. He has 5 this year. The man started 2 games. He's had 5 interceptions dropped so far. So I just worry about how long that leash is. We already saw in the last Watson game, they kind of oddly made DTR the number 2 quarterback there. And look, we love the Jameis experience. I know Red Zone viewers do as well. I'm not so sure that Kevin Stefanski is the biggest fan. So if we are forced to see Jameis leave and get DTR in, like if you want to go and pull up just basic, advanced efficiency stats for quarterbacks, passer rating, yards per attempt, whatever you want to do. I mean, DTR is one of the very few quarterbacks on this planet actually maybe worse than Deshaun Watson. So that really could nuke Cedric Tillman in a hurry, man. So honestly, I've been in some of my fantasy leagues this week while he's on bye, actually looking to maybe sell high on Tillman. So great player and everything. It's been a cool little story, but I'm just not so sure we get these top 20 numbers moving forward because heck of a tough schedule. And again, wouldn't be shocked if the Jameis experience sadly is over here in a bit.
Anything else you see coming up this weekend that maybe you're at least intrigued by? Maybe a prop or a player or a game?
Yeah, I got one more. I go Cooper Kupp over 70 receiving yards plus 114 odds. I mean, you look at it right now, Puka, not exactly 100%. I know that, quote unquote punch that got him thrown out kind of took the headlines, but wasn't looking all that great on that knee injury even before that happened. And man, even with Puka in for at least a couple portions of these games, Cooper Kupp right now is averaging 12.5 targets per game, over 14 per game if we take out the Cardinals game where he was out by halftime. So again, one of those things where Stafford and this Rams offense, man, when they have been right, things have been just fine and dandy. Going up against the Dolphins defense that honestly, I'm not as worried about the defense. Now we got Tua slinging the ball, so it should be one shootout after another. I think getting plus odds on that number is pretty nice.
I don't know why I'm not seeing any Cup numbers on DraftKings right now. I don't understand.
I was on FanDuel with that.
Oh, it's FanDuel? What? Mm-hmm. So this is what I've learned from my guy, Keg. He's going to be on here in a couple of minutes. We started this live betting shop. It's like, how many guys finish on their number? Not all the time. It doesn't happen that often. Like, why wouldn't you at least look at Cooper Kupp to hit 100 yards if you can get 4-1 on that? Because he's always in the realm of possibility to get that much, isn't he?
I mean, any receiver you got getting 8+ targets per game, let alone, again, double digit. I don't see why not. So if you want to go to the receptions and not have to chance around with the yards, that's fine. But man, again, Kupp, another guy where I think it's just this wasn't exactly, I mean, obviously wasn't healthy for the middle portion of the season, but when this dude's right, we've seen it, man. You mentioned Justin Jefferson. Well, Kupp's the only guy we've seen in recent memory outperform that dude in fantasy land. So I'll take his overs anytime we got 2 legs underneath him.
You know what, though? They're not giving you great number. I mean, you're getting plus 325 on 100 yards. That's not bad. 240 on 90 yards. I mean, I sure would like 450 on 100 yards for Cooper Kupp, but no question, it's tough to go wrong with Cooper Kupp. If he doesn't get hurt, he's usually just blowing through his numbers.
If you want a good number, I'd just go to the other sideline and finally bet on Jalen Waddle doing something, man. I mean, he's got 7 straight games now under 50 yards, and we know with this dude, man, one of those players where it just takes one for him to go ahead and rack up 70+ in a hurry. So, I know it's been a little bit frustrating, but I don't think Jalen Waddle magically became bad at football out here. Just a matter of, game plans going more to Achane and Jonnu Smith. But dude, like you look at receivers against the Rams, the Juwan Jennings game, the, Marvin Harrison Jr. game. And then obviously last week, escaping me at the moment, but we had another wide receiver one performance out there. One of the biggest secondaries who want to attack, Jackson Smith and Jigba. That's what I'm thinking of. 180, man. Like, come on. So if there was ever a matchup for Waddle to really get right, you think it'd be this one. Monday Night Football, man. Got to have something to go for there.
He went absolutely bananas. Ian, it's good to catch up with you, man. You're one, like I've told you, you're one of the good guys in this business. Happy for all the success you've had. We'll throw this out on Twitter. Maybe we'll put your handle in there since you're big enough and we can get that out. But thank you so much. I'm going to give you one bet. Okay. I think I already told you though. Just take the Tyrone Tracy over. You can bet his number. You can bet other things. He's going ape shit this weekend.
Yeah, I'm holding you to that, man. You got to pay for my round of golf tomorrow, okay?
That's fine. Are you playing at a public course or a country club?
Yeah, no, I'm way too bad to be at a country club. One of these days, you know.
Check him out with Matthew Berry Fantasy Life. Ian Hartitz, take care,
Appreciate
pal.
Take care, man.
Thank you so much. All right. So Ian's just a great kid. Known him a little while now, and I've also known this guy for a little while now. His name is Keg.
What's up, buddy?
What up, Keg?
How are you, pal?
Just trying to sit in my seat and not have to run upstairs is all I'm saying, pal. It's been a long
struggling.
Been a long day today. Whatever you had 2 nights ago, you gave to me. So
yeah, I'm happy
right
that's behind me.
Yeah, right. We don't need a helicopter of the week anymore, Iowa. We're done with helicopters of the week. That's it. You don't know how happy I was to see the 2 ladders that you threw out there today. And we don't need to talk about them, but 2 of my favorite guys that there is, especially the Tracy. Like, I'm just saying, hit the Tracy number, but tonight's guy is going to have a big night too.
I hope so.
Nuts.
I hope so. Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely going to add a few more plays today for tonight's game. But I like where we're at so far.
Yeah. And we're going to break down tonight's game. We'll break down the Sunday morning game, the Sunday game, and then we'll leave the rest out there. But do want to let you know the free trial's back, isn't it? Huh? Nuke November. Are we up and going with that one? For those of you that have not tried our site yet, I don't know what you're waiting for. We have a massive conversion rate. People doing the free trial, then sticking around. Nuke November, Nuke November, Nuke November. Go to nukethehouse.com, click on any plan, put the code in there, Nuke November, and you'll get 1 free week on us. And then after that, you can figure out exactly what you want to do. All right, pal. You want to start with a little Thursday night football tonight? I'm excited about this game. I think it's a good one. Bengals, Ravens, 2 teams really don't like each other. Ravens ended up beating the Bengals earlier this season. Derrick Henry, huge run, like 51 yards, sets up the game-winning field goal. Ravens -6, 52.5 is the total. And the Bengals, if you think they can win this thing, plus 220 on the money line. Break it down for us, Kegger.
Yeah, side and total feels right to me in this game. I don't really think that there's an edge at the current number either way, but it's a must-win for the Bengals. I haven't seen anything this year to make me feel like they're ready for the moment. Obviously, they're going to be down Higgins again this week. They haven't had the benefit of looking good this season at time against some very bad defenses. And I know that Chase Brown looked okay last week.
Yeah.
But it was still only 39 yards, I think, on 6 targets. And that's just not enough for me to replace. And I know Gesicki didn't look bad either, if we're being honest. He looked good. And I would not mind tonight if he gets off to a slow start. I like the numbers that I see, like in his 80-90 range. It would be nice for a slow start. Maybe we can get those prices in that 50 to 60 range tonight. But I think that he's possible that we can get on him. But they just haven't looked good without Higgins being in the lineup. And, you know, the one thing I'll say is that this looks like the total is huge for Thursday Night Football. But we're talking about one of the worst defenses in football going up against possibly the best offense in the league right now. It's probably either Baltimore or Detroit. So one important note for the game, there's a chance that, well, actually now it's confirmed Keaton Mitchell will play tonight.
Yeah,
one of the best young players in the league, hands down, not even close. His anytime touchdown can be in play tonight at the price. He's going to be, once he gets his full workload going, despite Derrick Henry probably being your offensive player of the year, Keaton Mitchell's just too good of a player not to use. And his anytime touchdown will eventually fall into that plus 175 to plus 185 range. You can get him tonight at like 4.25. There's value in that number. Now, I don't know if he's going to get there, and he might be slow from the rip. but that might be worth a half unit sprinkle. But as far as the total and the side goes, I kind of feel like the number is exactly where it should be right now. I don't really see an edge either way. If I was backing anything normal, I would probably be on the Baltimore team total over. I think the Bengals are in for a long night defensively. So I would probably go in that direction. And then obviously a lot of props that I like in this game that we're going to be on tonight.
Yeah, I always get hesitant betting running back props because they always get hurt when we bet them. Last year, I don't know if you remember this. I think it was it a Sunday night game? Keaton Mitchell. I'm all over Keaton Mitchell. I got him everywhere. He's just blowing up, and then he gets hurt.
Yep.
And it's like, oh God, he's such an explosive player. The only issue I have with Mitchell right now is how much does he really get as far as work? Because Justice Hill's been terrific, Keg.
He's been good, but he's not Keaton Mitchell. Like there is nobody on that team as explosive as Keaton Mitchell currently on there. I don't care if Derrick Henry is the offensive player of the year right now, and I don't care if Zay Flowers is on the team. That kid is a problem. And he's too good not to use. So, but I'm with you. If they're going to break him in slowly, you could get screwed tonight on the anytime touchdown. But keep in mind, that's why the price is plus 420 and not plus 175, because it will be that at some point. So I think it could be worth taking a half unit shot. I have to think on it a little more, though.
You might get on it. You're not there yet.
I'm not there yet. Yeah. I think Baltimore just calls their number tonight, Holden.
We did ladder one player here at Nuke the House, but you got to be a member to get it. So yeah, again,
we're going to ladder another one too.
Oh, we got another one that's in waiting?
Yes.
Oh boy. I'm excited. I'm going to try and take a guess who it is. Okay. I think
I'm not going to tell you I'm not going to tell you.
No, I don't want you to tell me on the air. We're doing this show. It's a free show. But if you do want all the plays, you might as well try us out for a week. 1 week free. Nuke November, Nuke November. We will be live tonight at 8:10 for Thursday Night Football with the Ravens and the Bengals. Look at this. Nuke the House up over 400 units documented, 10 cappers, 25 plus hours of content. Discord, $2 a day, not even. Nuke the House, $59.99. And Nuke November is the code at nukethehouse.com. Let's get into the Sunday slate, the early one, right? So this is a 9:30 a.m. Eastern time. The Panthers against the Giants. Panthers, the home team. They're 6.5-point dogs. 40.5 is the total. The Giants are not a good team, but the Panthers are worse, despite the fact they actually won a game last week. The fact that they won a football game is pretty impressive. And they're so bad that Dennis Allen got fired because he lost to him. So talk to me here. The Giants, I know we have one really sweet spot in this game that we like already. What do you think about the total 40.5? Could two really bad teams just put up a ton of points?
I'll be honest. This is the most confusing game to me on the card because it's been New York Giants money all week. And I don't understand why. The only thing I could think of, because I've been thinking about it all week, it could be this newfound Giants running game. Like, I just don't see, like, the Giants right now know that if they're going to win football games, they have to keep the opposing offense off the field, and they have to run the ball a lot because Danny Dimes is not it, right? And when they're in a game that they can control, then the Giants are going to run the ball 30 times easily. And that's what we've seen. That's why Tracy has had these breakout games. Now, we were on Tracy last weekend, and what the problem ended up being was we didn't get to the place we wanted to be because they were not in the game. He got played out of the game. And I just don't see how that's possible here. I really think that I know that he is dealing with possible concussion, but he's going to play. I don't see how he doesn't run the football 25 times on Sunday morning. I really don't. So, because I don't think that the running game will be played out of the game. So I guess I understand why the Giants are taking that much money, but we're talking about the New York Giants laying almost a touchdown on the road. I don't care if they're playing the University of Texas. Like that's an aggressive line for the New York Giants. So I'm having a hard time getting there, but I think it's because they think the Giants running game is going to go crazy. And I feel very good about where we're at. So I'm going to slight lean to the Carolina Panthers at 6.5, just because I cannot lay that kind of wood with the New York Giants. And I'm with you. Probably a slight lean to the under here at 40.5, because I think the Giants are going to try to run the ball 35 times, 40 times. So yeah, a slight lean to the under.
I just did a YouTube short on Tyrone Tracy, right? So he took the running back, the lead back role over in week 5 when Singletary got hurt. He's got 78% of the carries. He's got 60% of the running back targets. He's averaging 97.5 yards per game. He goes up against the Panthers run defense, worst in the league, giving up 139 yards rushing. And they also give up a touchdown and a half rushing to the running back position. So, hey, as I like to say, what could go wrong? But the dude is set up to mash.
Yeah, and I have a hard time seeing Carolina playing him out of the game
this week, right? We got played out last week.
Right.
That we couldn't do anything about it. When the game script changed, they just weren't giving him the ball. But there's no way the Giants are bad. There's no way they get blown out by the Panthers.
I agree. And I think the Giants probably win this game on the back of Tyrone Tracy. But I mean, this is where we're at. We're laying a touchdown in a different country with the New York Giants. Pass.
Nope. And Ian, who was just on, he wants Drew Lock. He wants the Drew Lock experience. I've never climbed so many ladders in my life, Card Addict. Neither have I. Neither have I, my friend. Go check it out. We got plays on the spreadsheet for tonight's game. We got a couple plays up there for the Sunday game. NukeTheHouse.com. Make sure you hit the like button and subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you're watching over there on X, come on over to YouTube. Once you do that, you can drop some comments in the box. We'd be happy to talk with you. If you guys got any bets or bet questions about the Thursday game or the Sunday games, by all means, bring it on over. Let's move on here, Kegger. The Denver Broncos, 7.5-point dogs on the road at Kansas City. The total here is a paltry 42. The Broncos hadn't beat Kansas City in like 8,000 years until they took them out last year for the first time. This is interesting because Bo Nix really got exposed last week, and he's going to another Lions den. With that being said, we know the history. The Chiefs, do they really cover these home games that often under the Patrick Mahomes regime here in the last couple of years? I think there's some issues there. I don't feel like betting the Broncos plus 7.5, but I think this is going to be just a nasty football game, and that's why the total is only 42, Keg.
Yeah, I don't disagree, but I think that the side and total are basically dead accurate. If you look at most ratings, this line is basically exactly where it should be. Mm-hmm. No value on the side. And my total model had this total at 41.3 and the total sitting at 42. So there's not a ton of value here. The one caveat to this game is that if Mahomes isn't healthy and is dealing with whatever happened late in that game against Tampa Bay, that might be something to watch. It's also a short week for Kansas City, who has Buffalo on deck in an important game for seeding in the AFC, which is something to also keep in mind. But I think at 7.5 and 42, I just don't see any value. There's nothing to bet. I'll dig into props though.
Well, I mean, DeAndre Hopkins looked like a badass.
Yeah,
but at this point, why don't you just put Surtain on him?
He looked very good.
He looked better than very good. He looked great. He looked like old DeAndre. It's amazing what happens when these guys get to go to teams with good quarterbacks, isn't it? Just shocking. No longer Mariota, Will Levis, and all the garbage they had there in Tennessee. Houston had what? Watson when he was good? What the hell happened there? But let me ask you that. What happened with Deshaun Watson? How was he good in Houston? Was it garbage time?
I just think that he's a mental midget and he can't deal with everything that's happened in his life the last few years. and it's probably affecting. I mean, did he forget how to play football? He looked incredible in Houston.
Yeah, he did.
So it's got to be something. He's mentally broken is the only thing that I could think of. It's not like he doesn't have the physical attributes to be as good as he was. He does. So it's got to be all mental at this point. But you could rest assured he is cooked. Dunzo.
Fork.
He will never be good again. He's done.
Do you realize it's Aaron Jones' legacy game this week, right? All right, we'll get to Aaron Jones. We'll talk about Aaron Jones a little bit. First, Bills Colts is our next game. A 4.5 point dogs at home are the Colts. 47's the total. Joe Flacco didn't look very good last week. Really didn't take deep shots, which was odd. Jonathan Taylor definitely squarely in play this week. As far as the Bills go, just Khalil Shakir just catches everything that comes his way. It's fascinating to see what's going on with this kid. But do you think Flacco to downs is a thing again this week? Because we really sweated just getting to his number last week when he was in a great spot.
I know. Yeah. That's the thing about Joe Flacco, man. Like, one thing you have to admit about Flacco is he either disappears or he shows up and he'll throw for 350 and turn back the clock. And then he has games like last week where he's struggling to get to 180 yards in a game that they could have easily won against Minnesota. So it's tough. I think that the total, I have the total at like 46 flat.
Okay.
So if you shop around, you might be able to find some 47.5. I think that's probably a little high. Lean under in terms of the total. As for the side, again, the Bills have Kansas City on deck next week. That could easily end up deciding the 1 seed in the AFC this year should KC drop a couple games, which I expect them to not go undefeated. So I could see the Bills sleepwalking through this game. But the real reason that I think that the Colts can hang around is they only get beat in this defense, Indy, over the top.
Yeah.
That, like, they're very good at keeping people in front of them. And Buffalo, if we know anything about them this year, as opposed to years past, it's all underneath. It's all underneath. There's no more over the top with Stephon Diggs. Like, if you take a look at average yards thrown for Josh Allen, it's way down this year. So I kind of think that they can hang around, man. I got a feeling that they can hang around. Am I running to pull the trigger? No. But I would say that, like, anything better than 4.5, I would definitely lean the Colts as the side, and slight lean to the under here.
I'll tell you again, there's only a couple guys I tail. You're number one. The other guy, Colts plus 4.5. So
yeah, so that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense to me.
Yeah, and I do want to see where Jonathan Taylor's out. He's been battling some nagging injuries, but he is such a freaking stud. They just went away from him last week, and it really didn't make sense to me in that game against the Vikings. And speaking of the Vikings, we'll get into the Vikings and Jaguars in just a second. But Keg, we've got nukethehouse.com, $59.99 a month. If you want to try us out for just a week, the free trial's back out there. The code is Nuke November. Nuke November. One word. Just put it all in there. Throw it in there when you're signing up. We'll give you the free week. You don't have to buy anything at the end of the week. What were we talking about retention rates? I told you like 4 to 6% is a good retention rate after free trials. We're getting like 80% of the people that use a free trial sign up.
A lot of people sign up. Yeah, that's pretty good.
Absolutely fascinating to me. So what do you get? You get our live NFL shows behind the paywall on Sunday, the 1 o'clock, 4 o'clock slate. You get the second half of the Sunday night and Monday night games because we only do the first half for free. Keg typed up his game plans, which are just spectacular. Didn't we have a guy hit like a massive parlay by just reading your game breakdowns? A couple weeks ago, right?
Yeah, a couple, like 20 to 1 and 15 to 1, I think. Yeah, it was good.
I'll take it, man. I'll take it. So again, nukethehouse.com. Nuke November is the code. Vikings, Jaguars. So the Vikings are 7-point favorites in Jacksonville. The total here is 44. Mac Jones is going to be the starting quarterback, correct? Is that who we're going to see?
Yeah, I mean, this injury designation feels like total bullshit to
You
me.
think it's bullshit on Lawrence?
It feels like total bullshit to me. And unless somebody can confirm that there was something on the radar, which I didn't see, it didn't look like he was dealing with anything. And then they come out with the news that there's a decent chance that Lawrence doesn't go. And then they basically say, yeah, he's not going. So the Vikings
He's on the practice field today.
Yeah, but they're saying that, yeah, but somebody dropped a tweet that said that he's not going to start.
All right. Well,
in our Discord. Listen, if Mac Jones plays, Minnesota by 1 million, right? I just don't know how Mac Jones cannot handle pressure, and Dan Flores is going to live in the backfield with that defense. And I think that we could see Mac Jones throw 3 picks in this game. I think that I could not agree more with Clint. The Vikings should be, if Mac Jones goes, the Vikings should be in control the entire way. And I don't know how Aaron Jones doesn't nuke. He really should nuke because he should get the amount of carries it's going to take for him to have a very good day. But we have to wait to make sure Mac Jones is going to play. But if he does play, we will probably be involved in this game. Now, off the news, the lines moved a point. I mean, if he's going to play, I really don't even mind Minnesota -6.5, -115.
Oof.
Like, I know it's Minnesota on the road with Sam Darnold, but I really don't even mind it, if I'm being honest. I think that they handle the Jacksonville Jaguars pretty easily if Mac Jones is going to be the quarterback. So we got to wait, but I just want to make sure that he's not playing. And then I'll dig into the props. But my gut says Aaron Jones has himself a day, and Mac Jones throws a couple picks.
Jones is averaging a little over 100 scrimmage yards a game. I mean, he does rushing, receiving is something we may want to look into, although it might have already gotten steamed up because it's the Jaguars. But yeah, Aaron Jones in a pretty damn good spot. Next game that we will discuss on the Sunday slate, Falcons Saints. Dug into this one for you today, Keg. Man, the Saints are just in a world of trouble right now. It's ugly. It's ugly. They get their head coach fired, Dennis Allen. He probably shouldn't have come back this year. Yep. They've got a ton of injuries. Their defense has given up 23 points or more in 6 straight weeks. And now you go out and you trade Marshawn Lattimore. I mean, the one guy that I pointed out to you today, Darnell Mooney, second in the NFL in 20-plus yard catches. He's got 14. He's 20-plus yard receiving touchdowns. He's second with 4. He's 9th in yards. He's gotten 85-plus yards in 4 games. If I'm going to pick one guy out to just shred this awful Saints defense, to me, it's Darnell Mooney. What do you think about the Falcons and the Saints?
Yeah, I mean, Darnell Mooney's had himself an incredible year. Incredible. So it's the old coaching bump this week, my guy.
Yeah?
Yeah, I mean, it works. I'm not a big narrative guy ever when it comes to sports betting, but we tend to see a substantial bump in performance off the changeup in the locker room, and the numbers just bear that out. Historically, it pays to be on the team with a new head coach in the first game. So right from there, it makes me lean towards the Saints here. But aside from that, this line feels slightly inflated to me at 3.5 anyway. Now, the Saints have a big task in front of them because they are dreadful against the run, and just tackling people in general seems to be a problem for this team. So you would think that the Falcons go pretty run heavy here with Robinson and Algier. I would think they probably have a day. Combine that with the fact that Derek Carr struggles the most in terms of pressure, with pressure in the front 7. And the one thing we know about the Atlanta Falcons this year is that their pressure rate is almost non-existent. They do not pressure the quarterback. So you would think that this game sets up really well for Derek Carr to have a clean pocket for the majority of the game. And if you give Derek Carr time to throw the ball, he can cook a defense. He can. So either way, 3.5 feels a little expensive. Plus, you get the coaching bump. So I'm going to lean towards the Saints at 3.5. As far as the total, feels about right to me at 46. I think I've got it at like 46.4. So, I mean, I think it's like dead on. But we'll probably be involved in the props market. I'll probably dig in tomorrow night with Adam.
Okay, a reminder that we're going to be live at 8:10 tonight, Thursday night football with the Bengals and the Ravens. So we'll be live broadcasting that free for you. Keg, myself, I will probably hang out with us as well, and we'll get that broadcast going tonight again at 8:10 Eastern time for Thursday night football. Steelers Commanders. This is an interesting one. 3.5 point spread with the Steelers getting points on the road. 45 is the total. I've got to be honest, after that first like 22 minutes of Russell Wilson debuting as a Steeler, he's been pretty damn good.
He really has been. Yeah.
Yeah. And then for the Commanders, listen, we know what type of role they're on. They just made a big move to bolster their defense too. But if there is any team that can go in on the road with a great head coach and Mike Tomlin and shock the world, it's the Steelers. Tell me if this at 3.5, isn't that enough to back the Steelers?
It's the hardest game, I think, to call on the whole slate.
Yeah?
Take a look at the schedule for these two teams, right? The best defense that the Washington Commanders have played thus far is a joke. They've played two average defenses this year at best in Baltimore and the Bears. Everybody else is dreadful, okay? The Ravens get no pressure. That wasn't a real test. This will be the first real test of the year for Washington. On the flip side, take a look at the offenses that Pittsburgh has played this year. They're terrible. So both these teams are going to be tested this year, this week in a way that they haven't been this year. The side I tend to gravitate towards the Pittsburgh defense and Mike Tomlin, who is like a disgusting 25-6 or something like that against rookie quarterbacks. So I think that the pressure that the Steelers front seven should get will be something that Jaden Daniels has to deal with for the first time in his entire career. So I'm going to lean towards Pittsburgh, but it's real close, man. I'll probably avoid the side and total in this game, but slight lean towards Pittsburgh. And if that's the case, slight lean towards the under.
Okay. So there's no 3.5s out there. It's basically 2.5, 3 if you want to back the Steelers at this point. DraftKings has the 3 if you want to back the Steelers. And then everywhere else, I'm seeing a lot of 2.5s out there. Patriots, Bears. So we got 2 more 1 o'clock games and then just 3 4 o'clock games coming up this weekend. Patriots, Bears. You heard our guest, Ian Harditz, with the Fantasy Life come up. He loves Drake May rushing yards this week, and he faces a Bears team with a hell of a good defense. Caleb Williams kind of gone backwards the last couple of weeks, and I wonder what your thoughts are on Williams. But the Patriots, 6-point dogs in Chicago, just a anemic total, 38.5 total. Blech, this game in Chicago, but a couple rookie quarterbacks here, and I must say, Caleb Williams has looked amazing at times, and these last 2 weeks, he has looked like doo-doo. No bueno.
Okay, so let's start here. I said, I think on one of the shows earlier this week, it was probably Monday Night Football, where DJ Moore was being interviewed by the fan. When asked if Eberflus lost the locker room, his response was alarming, Holden. I believe he said, well, I'm not going to say that he hasn't lost the locker room.
What the hell?
So combine that with the fact that you got Dan Orlovsky out there on social media breaking down film where DJ Moore just walks off the field during a play. I mean, Caleb Williams is out there running for his life.
I think he was hurt, by the way.
And he
I
just
know you shouldn't walk off the field, but I think he had an injury.
If you say so, I don't know.
You shouldn't be walking off the field no matter what, though. At least fake that you're going to be on the field and just writhe in pain.
So, hey, man, things are not good in Chicago right now, and the frustration level is showing on the field. The Bears still have an offensive line that is a complete and utter joke. And in order for this team to succeed, they have to be a cohesive unit, and that offensive line needs to get a lot better. Right now, they are anything but, considering the comments by DJ Moore. I cannot back the Bears right now. I just can't. All that said, I think that there are a bunch of games this week where the line is just dead on balls accurate to me, and this is another one of them. I've got the total at like 38 flat, and where are we at? 38.5 right now. So there's not a ton of value there. That's exactly where it should be. And as far as a side, I can only lean towards the Patriots, but I would never bet them in a million years. So pass.
I just want to say this in defense of DJ Moore. He said his ankle popped in and out. It took him out of bounds. He heard a bunch of boos.
It took him out of bounds is bullshit because he walked like 10 feet. What are we talking about? What does that even mean?
I don't know. He said his ankle took him out of bounds. So
yeah,
just saying, don't kill the messenger. I'm just reading.
Right. Yeah. No.
I almost feel like we should go back and listen to that whole damn thing because it really was bizarre. But here we go again with the Bears. It's another quarterback. They're going to either screw up or just isn't going to live up to expectations.
I just can't back them. I just can't back them right now. I can't. Maybe we could find an angle in the props market, but it's not the side. I'll tell you that.
Tough. It's tough finding anything in the props market with that team. Swift, maybe that's the guy you can rely on, but DJ Moore's boom bust. Komet's been completely invisible.
Don't even bring up that guy to me.
Caleb Williams is just going under all of his passing props. If you want to bet the under on him, I guess I get it.
Cole Kmet is on the side of a fucking milk carton right now. Nobody's seen the guy for 3 weeks. We don't even know if he's alive. He might be dead.
Amber alert.
He might be dead. Area.
Not good. It's not good. Thank you, Johnny. Thank you. You know what? It's my fault for bringing his name up, but I'm definitely scarred by Cole Kmet. Well, he's going off for 200 yards and 6 touchdowns this week.
Don't Holden, you want to tilt me out?
I do not want to tilt you out. I don't have the energy.
Is that your goal?
No.
Is that your goal this week?
My goal is to hop on tonight's show and win a shit ton of money at 8:10 Eastern when we start betting Thursday Night Football between the Ravens.
The amount of money that this community has lost on Cole Kmet in the last 2 weeks should be studied. Fucking terrible.
He's the worst.
It's
not his fault, though. Maybe it's not his fault. Maybe he's just blocking Williams. He didn't even have a target.
It's unbelievable, man. It's unbelievable.
Like button would be great. Smash that for us. Help us with the algo. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel, Nuke the House. If you're on X, come on over here. Hang out with us on YouTube at Nuke the House. Subscribe and turn on your notifications. Okay, this will be a fun one. So the Buccaneers have really had to face the gauntlet here over the last few weeks. They've got the Niners coming off a bye in Tampa. Niners are 6-point favorites. Hardy total here, 50 and a half. And Baker Mayfield's a little banged up, but it seems like he's banged up every single week. Kate Otten is a guy we're on every week. Rashad White's a guy we're on every week. Bucky Irving is a guy we're on every single week since Evans and Godwin went down, right? McCaffrey is on track to make his season debut. I don't know how much they play him, I should say. He could have played last week if they had a game, but they don't. So how much of a workload does he get? Again, very few running backs worth a point to a line. I don't want to make the argument for 1.5, but I think that people are going to realize just how important he is to this offense. No question about it. So, the Bucs defense was fine against Kansas City. They forced an overtime game, but this is a different offense. This Niners offense here coming off a bye on top of it. Boy, I got a tough time seeing the Bucs winning this game, but can they hang in and cover the spread?
Yeah. By the way, like Kate Otten, He's the real Nuke the House MVP over the last couple weeks. I mean,
He's the anti-Cole Kmet.
That guy has just been playing out of his mind and getting it done for all of us. So God bless you, K. Dotton. My family prays for you. All right. So
nice.
The Bucs were taking money earlier in the week, which is a little
Can
weird.
I call a timeout real quick?
Yes.
His props just dropped 7 minutes ago.
Yeah.
There's no way this thing's staying at 56.5, friend. No way K. Dotton's prop isn't going to hit 60 this week.
I mean, but keep in mind that, we bet it at 49.5 2 days ago, 3 days ago. Eventually they are going to price us out.
Are they pricing us out right now? Still under 60?
Don't know.
You'll think about it. You'll talk to Adam about it.
I have to think about it. Yeah.
But I mean, again, this thing, he is the number one receiver on that team. He is the number one option. And I think, anywhere in the low 50s probably be nice, but they might have opened this up a little too much this week.
So we might as well just give out a free play on this show today.
What? Do I even know what the play is?
No, nobody does.
No.
I am going to be on the San Francisco 49ers this week. I will be laying the 6. To me, it's simple. This is the start of the year for the San Francisco 49ers. It starts this week. This is where the Super Bowl run begins. This is where they get right. They're finally healthy. 95% healthy. They will be fully healthy in probably in a week or two. But I still think that I know what's been happening this year, and they haven't looked the best, but they're still one of the 3 best teams in football. You cannot sell me on the fact that that isn't true. Yeah. When you think about how bad Dallas is this year, when you think about how mediocre Phillies look this year, Baltimore defense non-existent. Kansas City not healthy. Should have lost 2 games at a minimum. San Francisco is a top 3 team. They could be the team this year that Kansas City was last year. 8-5 through 13 weeks. Nobody gave them a shot. What happens? They remind everybody who they are right before they go into the playoffs. They never looked back. That can be, and there is a decent shot that it will be, the San Francisco 49ers this year. They're a different team when McCaffrey's ready, and he's fucking ready. So buckle up, because Meyer and I were talking about hitting him to win the Super Bowl 14-15-1. What are we talking about? It's the 49ers, man. They're as legit as they come. They're going to win this division. So yeah, give me the Niners -6. I just don't think that Tampa Bay is going to be consistently able to score with this team. I don't care if they're on the road. I think they look very good. I think that this is a possible smash spot. The season starts on Sunday, so get ready.
So that's it. I'm betting it right now. -6, -10. -6, -110 to DraftKings, San Francisco.
Yeah, you know what? I'm going to find the best number and bet that right now.
I just found it for you. -6, -110 at DraftKings.
Betting it right now.
Yeah, good. Okay, that's in. I wanted to beat Paglia to it, so he didn't move the line on me. Niners. I just learned this one. Did anybody else at the shop know you were going to bet the Niners -6?
No.
This just came out of left field. You're just like, screw it. Ball bag, table, let's go.
I've been sitting on it all day. I just didn't think the line would really move.
Okay. I can't wait to watch CMC. Like in 2 weeks from now, when he's fully unleashed, it's just going to be beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Okay. Like button would be great. Let's do that. Let's come over and subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you want a free week to nuke the house, you haven't tried us out yet, by all means do so. Nuke November, NUKENOVEMBER. Nuke November. You go to nukethehouse.com, you click subscribe, put Nuke November in for any package. We'll give you the week. We won't charge you. Okay. If you don't like it, that's on you, man. What do you like to say? Don't sign up. If you like money, don't. If you don't like money, don't sign up.
Listen, man, it's hard to find a shop out there that wins and is transparent, and it's impossible to find one that streams every football game, NASCAR race, and MMA event, and we do all 5. So don't sign up. What do you want me to tell you?
Red Zone's really gonna start making money when they have a betting red zone, and they put it on NFL, and we're the show that ends up doing that. You're gonna have to dress nicer though, and you're used to sitting for 9 hours a day. Anyway.
This is my attire.
You're gonna need a suit if we're gonna do that, pal.
This is what you get, buddy.
It's okay. You're gonna need one. We're getting spammed.
You and I are going on Red Zone.
We're gonna have our own Red Zone live betting show.
I'll buy a suit if we're going on Red Zone.
Yeah, but you're gonna have to do something about your hair, bro.
I'll shave it. I'll bick it.
You're gonna be bald?
Yeah.
Have you ever done that?
Normally I bick my head. I'm just lazy, and I always put a hat on.
Why are we getting spammed by our own social media coordinator? Why?
I'm not sure.
I mean, he just can't. Matty, are you lonely, pal? I'll take care of you. We'll talk after the show if you need to. Keg dressing nice. Dude has only one shirt without spaghetti stains.
I mean, that could be 35% accurate.
All righty then. Free show tonight, 8:10 Thursday Night Football. We're betting it. Let's go to these afternoon games. Just 3 of them this week. So it should be a lot easier to bet 3 games. We can focus in. Then again, it's the Chargers and the Titans. I don't know what to tell you here about the Titans. The Chargers, 7-point favorites at home. 39 is the total. Dobbins, we'll see what he can do against this run defense. Tony Pollard is basically the whole offense. Tony Pollard just gets monster workload. That's the only 2 players I can really look at. I think Dobbins could go off. He's got a little bit of a difficult matchup, and then Pollard just gets all the touches. 39 total seems about right for one team that's not good and the other team that's going to beat you down with rushing the football and playing defense. What do you got, Titans, Chargers, if anything?
The Titans are a bad football team, but the one thing you have to give them is the defense is playing pretty well this year. Mm-hmm. Now, don't get me wrong. It's all relative when you're 2-6 through 8 games, but they're in the top 14 on defense in both EPA per pass and rush. So they've been playing pretty well. The issue is the offense is absolutely dreadful, but can they hang within 7.5 here? I think they kind of could. It would not shock me. The Chargers don't feel like they are built for blowing out anybody.
They have the last 2 games, though.
I know they have, but they're not. When you take their style of play into consideration, and I'll give you the fact that Herbert is starting to throw the ball a little bit more. Mm-hmm. But at the end of the day, when you think about a Harbaugh football team, it's running the football and playing defense. So they're just not, to me, consistently built to blow out teams. Now, we're still waiting on injury news for the Titans that could help them hang within the number. But the one thing that we know for sure is every time that this line has gotten to 8, it's been bet back down to 7.5. Mm-hmm. I know that the rookie is questionable, and it's probably going to be Rudolph again. I would have 0 interest in Tennessee if Levis plays. But if it's definitely Rudolph, I'm going to lean the Titans here at 7.5. The total feels right to me, though. I'll have to dig into props, but I doubt there's going to be much in this game prop-wise.
Yeah, I wonder what Tony Pollard's receptions is going to be at. They have been using him in the passing game, too. They set it at 2.5. I could see going to 3. It's just they don't have much. It's shocking. He was horrible with the Cowboys in the one year they gave him the lead role. He comes to the Titans. He's all world. He's been terrific. How is your election show with Ant? Because he says you're dressing like a Midwestern lesbian.
It was fun. We had fun.
Yeah?
Yeah, my guy was a little shocked.
How long did you guys stay on for? I didn't see it. Casey finally came home. I saw her for a couple hours.
I was on from like 7:30 to 10:30 about.
Okay, 3 hours. That's not bad.
I mean, we didn't even know anything really.
No.
It really came down to finding out about Pennsylvania at like 3 a.m. That's when we knew. But yeah, it's wild.
You cashed the bet?
I
Ant
cashed
didn't.
the bet, made
That was it.
4,000. Made 4,000 on Trump. Thank you
Yep.
very much.
Yep. And it wasn't anything political. It was just a bet. We just
Yeah,
bet things. You don't got to like the people. Maybe you love the people. You can love the people and bet on them. You can hate
To
the
be
people and bet
honest,
on them.
like I bet it because I really thought that they were going to run Biden out there. And I was like, this guy can't spell his own name. Nobody's going to vote for this guy. And then they pulled him. And I was like, oh shit, I might lose. But I mean, listen, it was literally a national mandate. The dude won the popular vote. He nuked the electoral college. I mean, hey, it is what it is. This is where we are. Democracy worked, Holden.
He said, you dress like a Midwestern lesbian has not chimed in since then, which is unfortunate. You've known Ant for a long time. Bean Air in the house? What's up? Bean Air, how are you, man?
What's up,
time
Bean Air?
with you. Like button would be great. YouTube channel, subscribe to it. Let's go, let's go, let's go. I'm excited about tonight's game tonight. I think we actually got a good football game. Hey, listen, it might turn into a dog shit slugfest, but I don't think it will. I think Ravens-Bengals could be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I think we'll make some money.
Yeah, I do too. Eagles-Cowboys, CeeDee Lamb says he's going to play. Cooper Rush is going to be his quarterback. I mean, he met the media today. He's like, it's my shoulder. It hurts, but I'm going to play through it. Cowboys +7, 43 is the total. Let me read you some numbers on the tush push. Can I tell you a little bit about the tush push?
Please do.
Are you willing to sit here for a second?
Please tell me about it.
Success rate of the tush push. They went 0-2 last week with the tush push.
Yeah, no Jason Kelsey.
25 of 27 in 2022. They're the 93% success rate.
Right.
Last year, 83% success rate. This year, 76% success rate. The tush push is only working 3 out of every 4 times, which is, that's a lot, man, especially when you're in 3rd or 4th and short.
That's the Jason Kelsey effect.
That's the Jason Kelsey effect. There's no question about that. So that's a little note on the Eagles. The Cowboys have actually won 5 of the last 7 in the series. But again, Cooper Rush, the defense for the Cowboys, they're giving up 28 points per game. They're 31st in the NFL there. They can't run the football. The only guy I like, and I don't know if they dropped Ferguson props yet, but Cooper Rush just funneled the ball to Jake Ferguson. So I'm hoping I'm going to go look right now and see if Ferguson's numbers are up there. Nope, not yet. But that's a guy I'll be looking at in the props market. And then the other side, we're still waiting on official news on A.J. Brown. I think Devontae Smith got back into practice today. Goddard will be in there, and Saquon.
Yeah. So the only thing we know for sure is that Dak is dead.
Correct.
But we're still waiting.
I mean, he's alive in real life.
We're still waiting to see if a bunch of pieces will play in the game. We're waiting on news regarding Diggs.
Yeah.
We're waiting on news regarding Micah Parsons. You just told me I had Lamb on my list, but looks like he'll play. We're still waiting on AJ Brown, but with all those pieces still undecided if they will play, this line moved 4 points off the Dak Prescott news. The line was at 3 when it looked like Dak would play. We're up to, it actually had gotten to 7.5 and then got kicked back down to 7. So I called a friend in Vegas that is a little better at me at pricing quarterbacks than I am. And he had the move at exactly 4.5 points. So we're pretty close. Depending on the injury news, this line could continue to move. There's an argument to be made that the Cowboys offense has been in such disarray this year that the downgrade could be a little expensive at this point, but it's really hard to tell until we're seeing Cooper Rush play. Either way, this game, it's a pass for me until at the very least I know that AJ Brown is going to play. I need a more clear picture of who will play in this game before I can make a call. I am down on both teams this year. The Eagles have not impressed me despite the injuries that they've dealt with. They just still haven't impressed me. So I'm probably going to avoid the side in this game, but I might be right back to AJ Brown if he's going to play. We have to wait and see.
So here's the quote from Lamb. My shoulder's much better than it was on Sunday. I'll tell you that. I feel like I've taken a big step last 2 or 3 days. I'm good. I was out there running today. He said the injury is more about pain tolerance and has no plans for wearing a protective brace on Sunday. So he's in. He gonna play. CD
Yeah.
Lamb.
He might just be running wind sprints.
Because Cooper Rush can't get him the ball.
Yeah.
Just give me the Ferguson. I can't wait till they drop those numbers. I'm praying they give us a 4.5 receptions. Praying. That would be so beautiful. One more game to get to. One more game. And it's your New York Football Jets visiting the Arizona Cardinals, who continue to shock everybody by winning these football games. It's a nice matchup for Aaron Rodgers. I do wonder if Rodgers finally has like a really good passing game, 275 plus, multiple touchdown passes. 1.5 is the spread. So the Cardinals are actually dogs at home to the Jets, Keg. 46.5 is the total. What are the lines missing? What are the books missing? Maybe making the Jets road favorites.
What was this line? Can you check what the line was yesterday? Was it
Sure.
a pick? I thought this game was a pick yesterday.
Really?
So I think I could be wrong, but I thought that was the case.
Here's what you got. It's been actually, for some reason, it went plus 1.5 and back to minus 1.5 on FanDuel. Can that be right?
Yeah, I thought I saw them a pick yesterday.
It's one. I'm seeing ones. I'm not seeing a pick, but I'm seeing a lot of ones and then flipping over to the other side.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like this line's moved a little bit, but I still feel like the Jets are the side. They aren't a very good team, but the Cardinals have had the benefit of playing some very bad defenses this year. And when the Cardinals have played a good defense, they've struggled. When they have played a decent offense, they've also struggled. The Jets need this game like they need blood if they want any chance of a respectable year. The one concern here is the Cardinals are going to be able to run the football against New York, and that could be a problem. If they can stop them, I think the Jets are going to win this game. If they can't move the line of scrimmage consistently, it brings Arizona into play, but I think that they're going to be able to stop them. My gut says that the Jets defense shows up, and I think they have a pretty good game offensively in this spot. So a slight lean towards the Jets here, but you lost a little bit of value. I'm going to look further into this game, but in terms of the prop market, maybe the Jets team total isn't a bad look here. I don't know. I feel like the Jets are the side, but I have to look to see, dig in a little bit more to see if I'm going to bet it.
All right, buddy. We made it through the show. So I'm going to ask you, what do you get? What?
Oh, I was just going to say, reminder, after Thursday Night Football, Johnny and Tommy will be doing the MMA pod for this week's UFC card.
What is this, UFC 7000?
No, UFC Protes versus Magny.
Okay, very good. So anyways, we got the show coming up tonight, 8:10, live broadcast. Try and win you some money. We already got a ladder down on a player. Keg already gave out his best bet for this weekend. I was not expecting that. What do you get with the site, Keg, when people sign up, or even try us out for a week for free with the code NukeNovember when you go to nukethehouse.com?
You get more live betting streams than anybody on the internet. You get daily picks, articles, a subscriber Discord that has a ton of sharp guys in there to chat. You have access to all the handicappers to ask us questions whenever you want. You have game plans, which is like a betting playbook for every NASCAR race, every MMA event, PGA tournament, and about half the NFL slate every week. And that's it, buddy.
That's pretty good. That's not just it. That's amazing.
Oh, and every single play documented and tracked on the website for every handicapper, and hundreds of units of profitability. So,
and we got a big ladder up there. We got 2 big ladders you already posted up there. And you just gave us the Niners -6 as a free play.
There you go.
Ridiculous. I can't believe you do such a nice thing. It's all right. Come check us out tonight, 8:10 Eastern, right here on our YouTube channel. Subscribe, hit the like button, do all the other stuff. Keg, always good to see you, my friend. Thanks to Ian Hardis from the Fantasy Life. Got some interesting notes on Drake May from him. I'm going to look into that a little bit more. Maybe some Drake May rushing yards this weekend. But Keg, let's get the graphic up here. Let's hit the music, and let's go nuke the house.